Feeling relief with money now. Peace with money is available to you now. Not someday later, not if, not maybe someday in the future. It's available right now. As you're listening to my voice, as you are watching this video and listening to this audio, feeling relief with money is yours. There's a version of you who isn't afraid to check their bank account, who doesn't hold their breath when they tap their card to pay or hand cash over to the cashier, who doesn't rehearse the backup plan every time she has to do some sort of plan. She's trying to figure out what's going to happen if it doesn't work out. That is a feeling of unsafety, and today we're going to really lock into the version of you who doesn't do those things, who feels safe with money, and you don't have to wait to meet them. You can feel that version of you right now as you're listening to this audio and watching this video. If you accept to continue watching this video, I want you to say your name, accept that I want to feel safety with money now. Even if the numbers aren't what I want, and even if I don't have the money I want, I can still breathe right now. I can still feel relief right now. I used to think that money relief came after the money, like after the job, after the client, after the check, after the money hit. But I had to understand that money came after I chose peace, after I chose relief, after I felt support. That's when it came. I used to think that money came after the money, but that wasn't true, because I didn't feel safe before I got the money. I used to not feel safe unless I got the money. And so because I didn't feel safe until I got the money, I didn't feel safe after it either. So what we're chasing when we're chasing this feeling of relief is that we think the money has the feeling of relief within it. Once I get the money, I will feel that relief. But once you get the money, you always feel the same feeling of not feeling supported and not feeling relief. That feeling stays even after you get the money if you don't have the feeling first. So I started practicing safety before I was able to actually get a breakthrough and understand that I get to choose that I am supported and that I am relieved and I am feeling safe. And when I started practicing that, and I started asking my body, well, what would it feel like if money wasn't chasing me, but it was supporting me? What if money I wasn't trying to make money come to me, but it was already there? What if I actually had a good relationship with money? What if I actually felt safety with it? What if it wasn't something that I had to go get? It was something that literally I could coexist with. So the truth is, your nervous system isn't asking for millions. Your nervous system isn't even asking for 100,000. It's not asking for 10,000. Your nervous system is asking for peace. It's asking for you to trust yourself, to notice where life is already supporting you and where money's already supporting you, and asking you to stop rehearsing survival for 1 second so that you can feel relief. And when you stop doing those things, that is where the relief begins. It doesn't begin once you get the money. It begins when you start to breathe now. And the thing is, you can still want more. You can still have more goals. You can still stretch yourself to the next level. But you don't have to hate where you are right now to get there. You don't have to fight your way to abundance through chaos. You can do it just through clarity, by getting clear on what your body's actually asking for. So sometimes the relief comes after you stop blaming money for how you feel. You're like, I feel bad because I don't have money. Therefore, you're actually reinforcing that you're blaming money for how you feel. But when you start remembering that money is a mirror and it can only reflect what you're willing to feel, you're only willing to believe is safe for you. It only reflects what you're willing to believe is safe for you. Then that is when money actually starts to be what it's supposed to be, a mirror. That's when you start to remember that it is a mirror. And that's when you stop blaming it for how you feel. Therefore, you're able to find the feelings of relief and support within yourself. And therefore, the money comes to you. You don't have to fight your way to it. And it's extremely effortless. So today, I want you to choose one small thing, one moment, one thing, just one. Maybe it's letting yourself spend on a lip gloss without guilt. Or maybe it's not checking your bank account with fear, but checking it and saying, thank you anyway. I love all the money I have in here. I'm so glad that I have 1 cent. Or maybe it's just not even checking it at all. You're like, I know checking it is going to give me anxiety, so I'm not going to do that. Sometimes that moment of trust comes from not doing the thing that makes you feel bad about money. If checking your account makes you feel bad, maybe just today don't check it. Just give yourself a moment of relief and choose to feel relief. If you feel unsupported by a certain trigger, money has a certain trigger for you to feel unsupported. How about let's just not go toward that trigger today? And let your moment give you relief instead of it making you feel more chaos. Because honestly, you get to choose that. Knowing you get to choose is one of the 28 money codes. You get to choose everything from how you spend your time, to how you spend your money, to who you hang out with, to what you do with your everyday life. You get to choose. And you also get to choose what you feel. This is just one of the 28 money codes. You can grab 28 codes in my bio or in the description of this video or wherever the links are. Because these things are so innocent, but they really rule your entire life. How would you have known that you can choose to feel relief now without hustling for money? And that you can actually choose the peace that you think you're going to get from the money and choose to feel that now? If I didn't tell you, how would you know that? A lot of these things are innocent. We think we have to go get the money because the money is what's going to solve the problem. And then when you go get the money, you still don't feel good. Then you keep chasing another goal and hustling for the next dollar, for the next dollar, for the next dollar. And repeating that same cycle over and over and over because you don't even know that you get to choose. You get to choose how you feel. You get to choose to not engage in that thing that's making you feel like you have to hustle. You get to choose to not go to that place that makes you feel poor. You get to choose to not talk to that person that makes you feel weak with money. You get to choose that money is your mirror and you're not going to blame it for how you feel. You get to choose to feel relief right now. You get to choose that every single day. You get to choose, hey, I'm noticing that this specific thing is making me rehearse survival and I feel it and I know it and I'm repeating the same pattern and I don't want to do that. And you say, you know what? I trust myself. I'm not going to do that today. Checking my bank account doesn't make me feel good. I feel like it makes me feel really, really bad. So I'm just not going to check it. You get to choose that. And maybe that's not long term. Maybe you will make a plan to look at it after. But in this moment, you get to choose what you want to do. The version of you that doesn't check her account with fear, the version of you that doesn't check the account before you go and swipe the card, even though you know you have the money in there. The one that doesn't participate in things that make you feel like you're rehearsing survival. You can feel that version right now. Even if the numbers aren't where you want it to be, even if you don't have the money you want to have, because the money's not the problem. If you really think the money is the problem, then your problem would have already been solved because you're currently being supported by money. Even if you think you're not, you are. You just have to realize, you have to take a step back and realize that you already are feeling supported. You are, or maybe not feeling supported, but you already are supported. Therefore, you get to choose to feel supported because you already are. You get to choose to feel relief because you can do that. You get to choose. You get to choose to be that version. regardless of what your 3D says, regardless of what their circumstances look like, regardless of whatever you think you need, the job, the client, the check, whatever you think you need for you to feel that way, you don't need it. You don't feel safe after. You feel safe before. And then that is what allows you to feel safe. Your nervous system can actually do the actions it takes to get the thing, and then you end up getting the money. But it wasn't the money. It was you who decided first. So going forward, I want you to say to yourself, I get to decide how I choose to feel in every moment. I get to choose. I get to choose. And I want you to actually abide by that and let yourself choose to feel how you want to feel without the 3D having to agree with you.